commend the Chief Minister for having organized a CSR plus investment conclave in Kohima. Nagaland very much requires good exposure to investments and also look at projects which can benefit from CSR. I did mention this even during the program. This is always a conundrum whether CSR funds can come where there is no investment, and unless investments are already in a state, their CSRs being spent in that state as a natural consequence is what people pick up on. But Nagaland is still yet to get as much investment as it is capable of absorbing. And as a result, it does also run short of CSR. But this one call by the Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland, which he met and also gave me in sometime early this year, March sometime this year. As a result, you've had quite a good number of CSR offering, each one tied to some good projects which will benefit, and mostly I saw an accent on health-related products. So procuring good high-end equipments for hospital, procuring medical equipments, also making sure the hospitals get facilities. Like for instance, one of the programs that I will be concluding today, my visit with, is a dialysis center which one of the CSR funds has started up here. So CSR, as a result of that one call from Honorable Chief Minister early this year, has brought in quite a big number of fund givers, and as a result there are quite a few projects which have come out. 34, I think, if I remember the number of projects, Nakul, well, how many CSR projects were there totally?
36.
36 projects have been announced to a total amount of 38 crores, and of which, 38 crores over and above that, some of them were yet to come because the projects have not been completely presented to them. They're ready with the money. We had planned that we'll come with a 50 crore announcement. Now it has reached 38 crores, I think, and the rest of it will be made up sooner. If that is one side of the story, the investment interest you saw in the conclave, that quite a few of these investors had come, industries had come, who are keen to work on possible ways of investing in Nagaland. From the ministry's side, we wanted to ensure that there are enough bank access to Nagaland. As a result, we had a complete review of how many districts benefit from the presence of banks, and those districts which are really not as much covered by banks, there should be banking facility provided. Just for your information, I want to say Dimapur has the maximum presence of banks, 94 branches in total, which is both public sector, RRBs, and if any, private banks as well. Second comes Kohima with 58, in total public sector, rural bank and others as well. And third place goes to Mokokchung, fourth is Wuka, and fifth is Mon. Now in Mon, incidentally, yesterday we had opened up a private sector bank, Axis Bank's branch. In all, totally in Nagaland, 271 branches are prevalent of banks, both the public sector and private sector. Just only public sector and regional rural banks. Of the 271, 200 bank branches are of public sector banks and regional rural banks. Now, through the Jan Dhan Yojana, accounts have been opened for all the citizens. As a result, a total cumulative direct benefit transfer amount which has reached Nagaland, DBT transfers to people who get it into their account. It could be for one category or the other in which they are entitled to get the money. 287 crores have been given DBT to the person concerned. It goes into the account. A cumulative total of 287 crores have been reached. Yesterday during the presentation in the banking conclave, I had spoken about different schemes, how many got covered, how many persons got covered, what's the total amount, and yesterday exclusively in that program how many were added on to that total. I'm not going to go into that, but what is important for people in Nagaland to know, and through the media I'd like to present that here, is Nagaland certainly requires a lot of help in terms of resources. Yesterday, whilst the Chief Minister had invited me to meet his cabinet colleagues, he had given me a detailed presentation of what the situation is about the capital and the current account and the balance that is there, deficit. All that has been explained. But I just want to highlight some data through you for the people of Nagaland. Tax devolution to Nagaland has increased to 13,782 crores, 13,782 crores in the period of 2014 to 19, compared to just 3,844 crores, 3,844 crores during the period of 2009 to 14. So comparing similar periods, that is 2014 to 19 to 9 to 14, you can see that from 3,844, I've already mentioned that number, 3,844, it has gone up to 13,782 crores. Now that is what is due, collected, total tax collected, and amounts to be devolved per a formula given by the Finance Commission to each state. That's gone up. Now grants and aid, which come from the center, has also gone up. Grants and aid for the same period I'm talking about, 2014-19, compared with 2009-14. Between 14-19, it has reached 29,483 crores, 29,483 crores. Whereas it was, between 2009 and 14, it was 20,812 crores. You can see a clear increase of more than 9,000 crores. 20,812 crores. So these are some of the points which I want to highlight. Now for this year, this 22 to 23, the year in which we are, the total grants, Finance Commission based grants, which is what I read to you earlier, grants and aid, grants from the center to Nagaland for this year 22 to 23 will be 4,773 crores. That's the budgetary allocation I'm talking about. There's always this question about infrastructure, particularly when it comes to Nagaland. Other than the usual infrastructure funds which come to the state, I just want to highlight that during the COVID year, we had extended a special assistance for states for building their infrastructure. That is therefore a scheme of special assistance to states for capital expenditure. It was given to all states, particularly for Northeast. We had allocated a total sum, every state could get their share. That's a very important aspect, and it helped states during the COVID years, 2020, 2021, and it was extended further to 22. Now 23, we have come up with a total of 1 lakh crore for all states, from which again Nagaland can benefit, and that will be an interest-free 50-year billet, so they can use it for any one major project that they want, or 1 or 2 projects. But I'll highlight a special program which was designed for the Northeast called the PM Divine, which is called PMDEVINA, which is development of infrastructure in the Northeast. DEV for development, I for infrastructure, NE for the Northeast. So PM Divine, we made a total allocation initially of 1,500 crores for the entire Northeast. States could bid proposals. They can be greenfield, they can be brownfield. And in that, without going further into the details, I would specifically state that the state of Nagaland may submit capital expenditure project proposals in any sector up to an amount of 1,600 crores to meet any developmental infrastructure requirement. There will be a component of it, about 20% of the component, which will be tied to some reforms. 80% of this amount can be untied. You can take it as it is. The 20% is tied only because we want to make sure, together with these kind of monies which you're receiving, you're also bringing in those reforms which otherwise you find it difficult. So 1 or 2 steps have been given, which I'm sure the state government will consider in the interest of better governance and take it up from there. My opening statements, I just wanted to highlight these particular things. I also will finally, I'll conclude by saying this and leave it open for the House to ask questions. Smart City Mission, 17 out of the 35 projects of Kohima Smart City are completed. The central government has also released a total of 245 crores for Kohima City alone, that Smart City project, out of which 195.99 crores have been utilized as of 8th July 2022. So I just want to highlight that. I mentioned yesterday the various benefits which have been released, but one thing I'd like to add, PM Kisan, which the PM releases on a regular basis, money is released for farmers. 2,13,603 beneficiaries of PM Kisan in the state of Nagaland. Regular release of funds reached 2,13,603 farmers, beneficiary farmers in the state of Nagaland. Similarly, Jan Arogya Yojana, which is the PM Jan Arogya Yojana, in which up to 5 lakhs a family can benefit. In that also, 81 empaneled hospitals are there in Nagaland, and 2.54 lakh e-health cards have been already issued. E-health cards are very, very important because the patient can go to the hospital and ask for treatment without showing any more papers or pay cash. So that e-card does it all for you, and that has been issued to 2.54 lakh beneficiaries. And this is for PM Jan Arogya Yojana.